Another day, another story. Today, we're going to review Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. Keep an open mind going into this because you might have an initial reaction to resist what the book teaches, but just set your opinions and decisions aside for a short while before you react. The concepts in this book can seem very simple, but don't let that trick you into dismissing them without any consideration because these concepts, although simple, are profound. Think about the possibilities. I wish to concentrate on the following three main ideas. There are many other lessons in the book, but I want to concentrate on these for now to keep it simple. If you're interested in a part 2, let me know in the comments. The Power of Now. Lesson 1. You are not your mind. This is quite a bold statement. You are not your thoughts. The present moment is all we ever have. I'm sure by now you've noticed that your mind is constantly chatting away. The voice in your head speculates, complains, judges, compares, and so on. We habitually think and worry a lot. The problem of humanity is deeply rooted in the mind itself. The mind is an incredibly useful tool, but we have become identified with it. The tool, as they say, has taken over the master. The insane thing is that most of us are on autopilot and just go through life talking to ourselves constantly and letting our conditioned mind run our lives. If we're not doing that, then we're replaying the past events in our minds. Early in the book, Eckhart asks the reader if they can be free of their mind whenever they want. Have you found the off button? Can you? If not, can you? If you're hearing this for the first time, you might be confused and ask, well, if I'm not my thoughts, then what am I? That's a great question, and in my opinion, asking what am I is one of the most important questions you can ask yourself. That is the beginning of self-inquiry awareness. There is much more to you than just that stream of thoughts. The first step towards realizing who you truly are, or mindfulness, whatever you choose to call it, is awareness. You start by listening to the voice in your head as often as you can. Rather than becoming consumed or identified with your thoughts, take a step back and just observe them. You try to create a sort of separation from yourself in your thoughts. It's very easy to get caught up in the constant stream of thoughts in your mind. Instead, try to catch yourself and just observe what's happening. Play the part of a pretentious observer. Once you begin to realize that you are not the thinker, you will be able to watch the thinker in your mind more objectively. When you observe your thoughts, you will notice that a higher level of consciousness is at work. Ask yourself if you notice any repetitive thought patterns after doing this for a while. Here, at this higher level of consciousness, think about the following. If you're observing your thoughts, can you be your thoughts? The answer is no. You are definitely much more than thought, and as you practice observing your thoughts, you'll begin to sense a deeper presence behind each thought. At that point, the thought loses its power over you because you have disconnected from the thought stream and have disconnected from the mind at this point. The no-mind gap is not some kind of trance-like state. Rather, you are more aware, awake, alert, and fully present in this state if you practice this technique consistently for a long enough period of time. The gaps will be short at first, but they will get longer. Another approach to get into the state of no mind is to focus your attention in the present. Become highly attentive of the moment. You're in this draws your attention away from the mind and into the now. You are alert and aware, but you're not thinking. You can do this at any time during the day. It can be difficult at first, but if you persevere, you will eventually catch a glimpse of no mind. If you're waiting in line or at a stoplight, become acutely aware of the moment you're in. Let go of thought, and see things without the filter of your mind. This idea can be extremely perplexing. If you haven't heard it before, let's go over a few of Eckhart's remarks to make the point crystal clear before going on to the next lesson. Learn to disidentify from your mind every time as the single most important step on your path to enlightenment. The moment your attention shifts to the now, you feel a presence, a stillness, and a peace. You no longer rely on the future for fulfillment and satisfaction. You don't look to it for salvation. One day you may catch yourself grinning at the future. The wider the time gap between perception and thought, the more depth there is to you as a human being, which is to say the more conscious you are. This indicates that you no longer place much importance on your thoughts because they do not directly affect how you feel about yourself. For the majority of us, this indicates that our minds are out of balance. Realizing that you are not your mind and that your thoughts are not who you are will help you overcome your compulsive thinking, which is a kind of addiction. You can still pursue your ambitions, but you'll soon realize that nothing that will happen in the future will save you or make you happy. Instead, you should just be content with being here right now. This takes us to the lesson. As previously mentioned, our minds are naturally preoccupied with thoughts of the past or the future. As a result, we are rarely in the present moment. Therefore, our goal here is to be more grounded in the present moment, even though it is necessary to think about and make plans for the future in the modern world. But don't take my word for it. Over 90% of our thinking is repetitious, unproductive, and frequently negative. When I first started doing this, I realized that my mind was just a wandering stream of random, mostly repetitive thoughts, like a tape that was on repeat currently. Listen to your mind for 10 minutes and see for yourself what it's saying. Tolle says that the only thing that is ultimately true about your journey is the step you are taking at this moment. You may have an outer purpose and outer goals, but they should not take up so much of your attention that they become more important than the step you are taking now. If you're offended by this thinking, well, I'm not like that, well, that's just your ego talking, and you are not your thoughts and you are not your ego either. You can observe how your mind habitually escapes to the past and the future by focusing on the now. The moment you become aware that you are not present, you become present when you become aware of it. When you observe it, you're not trapped in it any longer. Tolle says that time and mind are inseparable. If you take away time by focusing on the now, the mind falls to the background. Thanks for watching. Tap on next video to continue.